This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. You tuned into the TCSF podcast with the TTNL crew, and we're coming straight from the Output Lounge in Chicago, 1758 West Grand, on the corner of Grand and Wood. So come out and have some wings, some nice drinks, and enjoy our company.
Enjoy our company. Hopefully we enjoy a win and not have to go through what we went through last week.
Oh my God, yeah, last week was horrible. But this is the pregame show. We're going to talk about everything that's going on in the pregame, which is going to be the injury report. We're going to talk about the Eberflus revenge game, what Caleb can do to get a W. Again, it's going to be an action-packed game, and it's at the lakefront. So, Ivan.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest with you, I said it yesterday when I did, my show on another Bear show. This game could be exactly like last week because of the weapons on the other side for Dallas. The defense needs to show up. Whatever adjustments they made this past week, I need to see it right away. Like, there needs to be a point of emphasis on getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. And, and I understand we have an injured secondary right now with Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon out, and we'll get to that in a second. But, you have to be able to do something right. And in order to alleviate the pressure that's on your secondary, you need to be able to get to the pass rusher and stop the run. That's what I'm looking for. If you could stop Williams today, and that, negates the play action for Dallas, I think you could find yourself in a ball game. But if you're not able to stop the run and Williams is running wild, it's going to be a long day for the Chicago Bears. It
definitely is going to be a long day. And you definitely mentioned a problem with the defense is that secondary that is very banged up. But at the end of the day, we need Montez Sweat to step up. That's what you're getting paid for. You're getting paid for sacks, pressuring the quarterback, and we need you. You're a superstar. You're getting paid the big bucks. We need you to show up because the secondary is not good. So you need to put pressure on that quarterback, which is Dak Prescott, who what did he throw for, like over 300 yards last week?
Yeah.
So yeah, that can't happen. You've got to limit him as much as you can. They've got some weapons. They've got some wide receivers and Dez and the rest of the crew out there.
Not Dez.
Not Dez.
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. Definitely a weapon, heavy weapons there. On our offense, I really think that Caleb needs to process a little faster with the play call as it comes in, get the verbiage out a little bit quicker. Let it not go all the way to 1 second, 0 seconds. And again, it's going to be a lot of timing because Ben Johnson's offense runs off the run, which gives you the play action, which is going to let the linebackers come up, throw over them, get your guys open. Use both tight ends. We didn't see Loveland last week.
We haven't seen Loveland all year, to be honest. We saw him once last week in garbage time, and to be honest,
one target. That's not enough.
It's not enough, especially for a top 10. You're a top 10 pick. As much pressure as Caleb has, Rome needs that type of pressure. Loveland needs that type of pressure. These are all three top 10 picks. You're supposed to be making your mark right here on this offense right away. It shouldn't be week 3, week fucking 4. You're a top 10 pick. You're put here to take us to another level. Why aren't you on the field? That to me bothers me. That to me either shows that you're not getting it or you're just not ready physically. I'm not sure.
Is that a Ben Johnson problem, or is that a talent problem?
I don't know. I don't think it's a talent problem. I think it's just like he talks a lot about Ben Johnson talks a lot about trust, and this goes for Luther Burden as well. If they don't trust him, they're not going to put him out there. So it's like, all right, well, you drafted a top 10 tight end. I expect them to be out there. You can't trust them. Whose fault is that?
That's the man upstairs.
Yeah, that's the man upstairs. And if you're collaborating with your head coach, it's on both of them.
Yes.
It's on both of them if he's not ready yet.
It's also, we got to think about it. He is a rookie head coach. All right. I know we have a lot of expectations because he's an offensive guru, but he's a rookie head coach. He's going to make mistakes, as he's admitted to in the past 2 weeks. He's like, I need to get these guys out there. They're top 10 picks. They should be out there. Again, we need another good Rome game like he did last week, where he was able to get, over 100 yards and a bunch of catches. But again, I think the tight ends is going to be a huge relief, which is going to open up the run game. Like it's funny how this goes in cohesive, where one part of the offense helps out the other part of the offense, which helps out Caleb. And if Caleb is not scrambling around with like a toddler with a piece of cheese, I mean, it's gonna do you some well and some good if Caleb can get the ball out in 3 seconds, get it to his guy, and let those guys get the yak.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the offensive line, because the offensive line, Braxton Jones has been just the highlight of just not good football play.
I mean, you talked about it outside.
Yeah, we were talking about it outside. Braxton, he gets fatigued. Something's wrong with his body late in the games that he gets fatigued, and it's not even late in the games. You see it early in the games where he's not able to anchor down. He can't. There's something wrong with Braxton physically that he's not able to stop the pass rush on the left side. And that's, to be honest with you, that is 100% the truth. You watch him every single game. Something is wrong with Braxton Jones where he cannot anchor down. He can't block defensive ends. He looks like a chicken with his head cut off every single time there's a stunt or a blitz. He doesn't know who to pick up. And that's a huge problem. And also we have an issue with our center that we paid a lot of money. He's allowing a lot of pressures up the middle as well. So I don't know, I don't know what Caleb should do if somebody's in his face within the first second and a half, other than scramble and try to make a play. Like, you saw what happened when he had a good pocket. He was able to set his feet. He's delivering good throws. But if he's not able to set his feet and he has to keep running around and scrambling, you're going to see, some faults. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, and the inactives just got posted. Kyler Gordon, Jalen Jones, TJ Edwards. So 2 DBs, a linebacker. Obviously, Casey Keenum's not going to play. DeMarco Jackson, another linebacker. So 2 linebackers, 2 defensive backs, and then Ozzie Trapillo, offensive lineman. Why is Ozzie not? That's his second game? 2 games in a row now?
Healthy scratch?
Healthy scratch again? We're scratching our heads about this.
I'm scratching my head. Is he hurt or is he a healthy scratch? What's the point? Why again?
Why?
Again, why draft these guys where you drafted them if they're not going to contribute right away? We said this on TTNL throughout the entire draft process. They need to draft guys that are going to help you right fucking now. And they don't do that. They don't do that.
They don't do that. It's a lot of these draft picks are here to help out for the now. We're not looking for the rebuild of 5 years from now, 10 years from now. No, we're looking to win now. They spend a lot of money on the offensive line, on the defensive players that we've gotten, and they're locked up for years. So there's not going to be a lot of money left over for next year and the year after. And then we need DJ Moore to be a superstar as well.
Yeah, DJ Moore needs to step up. I don't know, all this talk with Ben Johnson during the week about practice habits and guys, not giving 100%, during plays on game day. A lot of people speculated that was on DJ Moore, and I'm like, well, yeah, because look at what we saw last year when DJ gets frustrated. If DJ's frustrated, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to go right back to that shit. So, to me, DJ Moore needs to look at the man in the mirror and step up himself.
And there's nothing more that you need from that. I mean, are we going to use him in the run game as well because our running back room is so depleted?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say you have to. You need to utilize it more, because if you're, where's Monning guy? We talk about all the regular. Where's Monning guy? Where's the franchise pillar Roshan Johnson? Where's Britton Brown, who was having an excellent preseason? Yep. We need backs. We need legs, dude. You can't just it's Britton Brown. We're gonna give the guys that we drafted or we gave under contract that we're gonna give the guys that we politically should put in first. No, you need fucking help, and Britton Brown can help you. Go ahead and utilize him. I don't understand that part of the philosophy of this offense. I don't know. Who can you trust, Ben? Like, who can you trust to put out there? Because it seems like you're not using a lot of guys, probably because you can't trust a lot of guys in your offense right now.
I think it might take 4, 5, 6 games for Ben Johnson to see what is what on the roster, who is actually going to man up and play every down from whistle to whistle. And I think a lot of that he's seen in practice. He talked about it in his post game or the press conference. He looked at the tape from last week and said, I'm not looking at the guys that are supposed to be in the play. I'm looking at the guys that should be blocking or on the opposite side of the field. Are they putting maximum effort? And we talked about outside. If the play is on the left side, why is the guy on the right side just standing there? Why is he anticipating Caleb to cut through or one of the running backs?
If the play breaks down, why aren't you running across the field? Why aren't you 100% trying to get yourself open? Or why aren't you, moving your ass to get to a block? Like those are things that have been issues with this team.
Yeah. We got some comments on there. You want to look at these comments up there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Put them up there. Let's look at this Braxton one. Braxton still hurt. Look, first half versus second half. First half, okay. Fourth is terrible. Yeah, I think he just depletes as the game goes on. I don't think he can. Yeah, I agree with you. He can't anchor an entire game, which is a problem, a huge problem.
Yeah, and we've been saying that. And thanks, Bruce. We've been saying this for a while now about Braxton, his inability to anchor, his inability to pick up, stunts and blitzes. He's a backup left tackle. He's a swing left tackle that's put in a position that he shouldn't be in right now because of the ineptitude of your GM or the arrogance of your GM. Thinking
that's a better word. That is a better word.
Find diamonds in the rough every single time.
I think I'm gonna go tonight and make a meme of Ryan Pose with that metal detector and on the sand looking for diamonds and gold and whatever.
And just finding rocks.
When there's huge diamonds just sitting in front of you, but he's trying to get underneath the sand to look for all that stuff. We got another comment here.
Oh, that's the same.
Oh, same one. Sorry, they moved over here. This one's the one I was talking about. You think the Bears would take advantage of Caleb's rookie contract by trying to win now?
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying.
I mean, are they? Again. Ryan Poles had an entire year prior to Caleb to get this team, the surrounding cast, right. 2 picks out of that entire draft are still playing for the team, and they're both injury prone. One of them's not playing.
One is not playing. The other one has not played.
Issues. Right, one has not played all year, and the other one has concussion issues. And then you keep going further into his drafts. He doesn't have a lot of guys that are like, damn.
He has not drafted a blue chipper.
Stud.
Yes,
what a stud that you just drafted.
Yeah, you need a blue chipper that someone's going to game plan against them, right? Yes.
We talk about Rome. We talk about they definitely Rome and Caleb and Colston and Lovely. They could definitely develop. Even Luther Burden maybe develop into be. But right now you don't have those available right now that are seasoned that have been performing on the. You don't have that. Mainly because you drafted like crap. Mainly because you have this, I don't know. Again, there's an arrogance where you think you can find these guys. Like you're the smart. Oh, we're gonna have this pick, and we're gonna pick a guy that nobody's looking at. There's a reason nobody's looking at, and you could have him, and he's available right there. Probably
he's probably available in the 25th round too.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things that Ryan Poles has failed at that has given us this product right here, where you're going to have to just patchwork and hope that this team can catch its stride, and you could find, you could find players that are willing to go ahead and give their all and be focused 100% on the goal here for this team and Ben Johnson's philosophy.
I mean, we have, Dallas can put up points. We know what Dak can do.
Right. If
Dak is not pressured, he can pick you apart. He's got a big arm and he's got a bunch of weapons. But there is some injuries on Dallas's side, and I wanted to pull that up so we can talk about that. That up for you right here. Again, we're live at Output Chicago, 1758 West Grand Avenue, so you can hear the crowd behind us. It is. People are coming in, it's trickling in. Yeah, they're starting to fill in. So if you're going to swing by, definitely get your seat early. There's some reserved seats in the front already, so the back is filling up.
Yeah, bar's already loaded.
Yeah,
so we got some seats out in the back, though. We got plenty of tables that are open.
Yeah, we got about 4 tables open, and everybody get here early. They have not posted their injury report yet.
Really?
Huh.
All right, well, I mean, regardless of that, we already know what the Bears need to focus on. Again, if Caleb is able to have an open a set pocket, right? If you have a clean pocket, set his feet, we're going to be able to see some good things. I truly believe that. My interest is in the running game. Going back to it, who's going to be that lead horse? It can't be just Swift.
No,
it can't be just Swift. Swift. I mean, look, he's given all he can, but he's just not going. He's not the guy.
No, he's a change of pace guy.
He's a secondary guy, but now basically, essentially what you're doing, you have is a secondary guy followed by guys you don't even know what they could be yet. So you need it just needs to be a point. Monangai, Swift, Britton Brown, whoever the hell is in that
DJ Moore. DJ Moore, we want the ball? Cool, run it.
Give them the football.
Yes.
Utilize the ground game, control the clock. All right. You need to be able to control the clock in a game like this, especially keeping that high-powered offense off the field. Keep the ball with your offense and let your defense rest. That's something you didn't have all week. The defense just seemed like they were on the field
gassed
in the second quarter.
You can't have 6 3-and-outs in a row.
They will do the same thing to us today if you can't control the clock. If you can't control the clock on the ground with your offense, you can't stop the run with your defense. Dallas will put up points.
We also mentioned this is the Eberflus revenge game. He is the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, and how much of his defense can attack Caleb, and does he really know the weaknesses and intricacies of Caleb Williams?
I don't know if I wouldn't call it a revenge. Like I said yesterday, I don't give it shouldn't be a focus on Eberflus.
It's a topic that I'll talk about.
No, you're right. So we're gonna do this now, but I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I don't give a damn about Matt Eberflus. Nobody should give a damn about Matt Eberflus. Yeah, he was a coach. It's over. We all know what the shit show was last year.
Yep.
This team needs to focus on this team and not some defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, you're playing them today, so you're gonna have to focus, but that shouldn't be it shouldn't be lingering.
We should be worrying about our defense.
Worry about your defense right here, right now.
That gave up 50 points.
Again, I'm Matt Eberflus. I don't think people are gonna boo him, but I don't give a shit about Matt Eberflus right now. What I want to see is the Bears win the game.
I mean, to go 0-3, you can kiss the playoffs goodbye at this point.
I wouldn't even think about playoffs. Like that's why I temper your expectations. That's why I tell Bears fans. I've been telling them for the past couple weeks. Why are you out here acting like this team is built to win the Super Bowl?
It's not.
It's not. It's not complete. It hasn't been complete for years, and we act like it's complete.
Oh, we got Ben Johnson. Everyone's jumping on that wagon. They're like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl because they went there. What that just got nothing to do with the roster. It's a completely different roster. They've been together for years. He took Jared Goff and polished him up.
Yeah,
it's gonna take some time for him to do that with Caleb. It's not an overnight process.
It took a year for Jared Goff to get it
yes.
with it. Like it's going to take a little bit of time. Will it take a year? I don't know. Will it take 8 weeks? I don't know. But you're going to have to allow Ben Johnson to teach and to develop players, or go ahead and bring in players that he wants. Like this isn't like I said.
Yes.
Can the Bears go ahead and turn things around? In the second half of the season, or like even right now? Yeah, I'm sure. What would be a more realistic expectation is that they go ahead and turn things around next season once Ben knows exactly what this roster is about, knows exactly the players that he has, and knows what to do with them, whether they're going to stay here or whether he's going to bring somebody else in. The personnel is a huge factor in why the Bears aren't successful. And again, Ryan Poles with his extension is a charity case. Ryan Poles is a charity case, period.
That's a Chicago thing to give a GM an extension when they haven't done much. Bulls, Bears, Cubs, White Sox. We've talked to them ad nauseum on TCSF on Mondays talking about this. But we're looking at Ryan Poles getting an extension, and he's lined up with Ben Johnson. So those contracts are lined up for the next, 4 years?
Yeah, about 5
so
years. I think Ben has a 5-year contract.
So you got a 4-year extension. So you're looking at we're going to be there together because they're not going to fire Ryan Poles out to give him an extension. They're just not going to do that. No. So if you're looking at what this season looking at, you should look at it in quarters. We lost the first 2 games in this first quarter of the season. We need 2 wins to balance out, and then look at the next quarter. I'm like, all right, let's get a winning record in those 4 games. Let's win 3 out of 4. And then move on from there. You've got to take baby steps. You can't be looking down the road at the last game against the Lions. You're thinking that's the game that's going to put us into the playoffs because we're going to beat the Lions. No, let's worry about what we're doing today and the opponent that we're facing today. That is it. End of story. Once the clock hits 0, cool. The next game is the Raiders, and that's who we have to focus on. But today, right now, we have to look at what we're going to do against the Dallas Cowboys and their high-powered offense. I know they have some injuries on defense that can be exposed. If the line can hold, if the offense can do what it's supposed to be doing, which is run the ball so that the play action. Yeah, there's a couple of babies here. I think it's her birthday. So happy birthday, baby. The play action comes off the running game. If the running game is not going to be working, the play action is not going to work.
Somebody put a pinky in its mouth. Anyway, yeah, no, I agree. Like it's you're 100% correct. It works off. Oh, hey, we got
Big Steve in the house.
What up, Steve?
Steve's in the house.
What's up, Steve?
Hold on 1 second.
That's all right. Okay. All right. Keep talking about it. Get ready.
We'll let him get ready.
Yeah, look at it.
No, like we said, like you said it perfect. You're gonna have to see who wants to be here. Who wants to be here moving forward? These games, this entire season, it's a prove it season. It's a prove it season.
Who wants to be here?
You're in an interview.
Yes.
You're
in the Ben Johnson interview process.
Correct.
Hey,
you have to be able to go ahead and perform. And if you're not going to be able to perform, I'm sorry, man. Even Ditka, when he got signed, hey, we're going to go to the Super Bowl in 3 years. The bad part is most of you guys won't be here. So, that's the truth. That's the truth. If you don't want to be here, you need to go. What's up, Steve?
What's up, man? What's going on with y'all?
Now, man, we live here at Output Lounge in Chicago, 1758 West Grand Avenue. Wish you were here. I know you couldn't be here today, but
yeah, I'm planning next weekend is my plan to show up and be there with you guys.
It'll be a great time. Once you show up, we'll have your whiskey ready.
Okay, you know about my whiskey, huh?
I watched the show.
Oh okay. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Like I always like to show you. We're doing some low. This is a $21 bottle. Mellow Yellow that I heard tastes like a $100 bottle, and it does. It's pretty nice. I got my boys over. Got some Oceans. We're gonna dive into that today, and yeah. So yeah, we got some stuff going. I got a couple of my fellas over, but yeah, next week I'll be looking forward to it, man. To get out and hang out with you guys next Sunday.
Dude, it's a blast here. They take care of us. The waitresses are amazing. The owner was here today checking in on us, see we're doing okay. So it's a blast. And then even after the game, we're able to hang out with a bunch of fans and have conversations, especially the fans.
Man. Sounds like a move. Just tell them to make sure I got some wings ready to roll. So I know last time I was at the Output, I came there just to get some wings. I said, I got to go try these Output wings. It was like 2 years ago. And I just so happened to be in the area, and I was like, let's swing by here and fire, some of the best in the city. So,
what's your sauce?
Looking forward to podcasting and eating some wings and kicking it with the fans.
What kind of wings you get, Steve?
What's your sauce?
I can't remember because it was that one time. I know it was like some kind of white sauce.
Oh wait, how long ago was this? The White Sox? So they have two. They have a new one, and it's probably Chipotle Ranch.
2 years ago.
Oh, then it's Chipotle Ranch.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are fire. Wings are great. Drinks are great. But Steve, let us know. Again, we were talking about it, and Jose and I both agree. You need to. It's a two front approach today. Stop the run the football, and I think the Bears will be able to keep themselves in this game. Controlling the clock, being able to keep the ball with the offense will keep that offense for the Dallas Cowboys off the field. So I'm saying, what's your opinion? Is that what the Bears do to win this game?
Yeah, basically, we have to make sure that we're stopping the run. Let's not make it easy on Dak. We know he's going to pass. We know they're going to be high octane offense. Mm-hmm. The one thing we can't control is the run game and controlling that. And then offensively, we just got to stay on schedule, man. We can't have the pre-snap penalties. Yep. I'll get to the rest of the stuff, but we got to control that, the false starts, the penalties that pushing us back, getting the play caller off schedule, a play caller who like Ben Johnson, who's dealing with being a head coach and offensive coordinator, and you got everything to deal with, and then you got your team is undisciplined, that throws your call system off. And it's not like guys have been playing at high levels too. So on top of pre-snap penalties, you can't have we're not playing at a high level. We got to stay on track. We got to stay on schedule. We got to make plays, man. We got to block up front. I mean, it's all those little things. And I see this, if it's either going to be a complete disaster that we are very superly disappointed, or we could get some get back and we show that there's been some improvement. And this is a game you could show this improvement and get the victory. It's not going to be easy, but there's some windows for us to do it. But obviously the scary thing is the Dallas' ability to put up points. So that's going to be the scary thing. But let's hope the home field advantage gives us a little juice. It did for the first 3 quarters of the Minnesota game. So let's hope that that's the case today.
Steve, I had a question for you. Me and I were talking off air, and we're talking about Ben Johnson laying into the players, especially this week during practice and calling them out during press conferences. How much of an effect does that have on actual players on how they produce going forward?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, we talked. Me and Ivan talked off air about Ben Johnson's press conference and calling out players, and then having practice outside and being hard on the players, and how much of that affects actual players' performance going forward.
I think it can motivate a lot of players, but then, obviously you got the players that get offended. Like, I don't think, you heard Grady Jarrett, like, a little offended by it, but, like, I think Bears are in no position to be sitting there getting offended from their coach challenging them. When you look at the last 2 weeks, there's nothing to ride home about. Are we living in a world of being sensitive? We just had the 85 Bears, and what was that team all about? With Mike Ditka and who was that? Buddy Ryan, those type of hardcore coaches. Like, I know we're far gone from that time, but your coach is going. That's his personality. Like, and you either get with it, you get out of there, man. So y'all got to win, man. It's a little tough love. You respond off the tough love. That's what I know. I challenge my youth team. I always reference my youth team. I just like, hey, I come tough love, man. I'm gonna call it how it is. I want you to respond. I want to see you guys react and get mad and get upset about the outcome we've been having the last 2 weeks. So I'm expecting that it's going to guys raising their games up, because I think we could see the consequences if you're not getting the job done, that people start losing their jobs around here. I think you can see that very quickly happening.
Yeah, and that's something that I like. If you're going to talk the talk, you better be able to walk the walk, because otherwise you're a Matt Nagy, you're a Mark Trestman, you're a Matt Eberflus. Like, if you're going to talk the talk and say, hey, guys need to step up and be put in position or something's going to change, there needs to be a change if you see it again. Because to me, and I know DJ Moore has been one of the guys speculated as being one of the issues, but if you see that again, it needs to be addressed right away. And I would go as far as to say, if you see it today in a play, it needs to happen right there and then.
Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you need to see guys get pulled out the game. You just saw it with the Eagles. We had Pryor out there at right tackle, our former Pryor who played for the Bears. He's getting Jalen because I guess Lance Johnson got hurt in his game. I didn't even know Pryor was on the Eagles. I was surprised that they would have a Pryor on their roster, right? So he's out there. He was sure enough out there. And he was getting Jalen Hurts slaughtered on a couple plays. And for one, he just sat there and looked at him. He got a hit. He just looked at him. Like, he like to try to get. I said, they pulled him the next play, the next series. And they scored the last two. And they've been rolling. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why they evaluated the guy who's in there now. But you make those moves. Prior to getting your quarterback, you make the pull. Like, don't wait around. So I hope that everybody balls out so we don't have to do that. But if you see anybody not getting the job done, not showing the effort, get them out of there. A la DJ Moore. If you want to sit there, like, I don't care who it is. When you're trying trying to establish your culture, you have to do things like that, man.
That sends a statement if your number one wide receiver is dogging it and you pull him right away. That sends a message to the rest of the team that no one is above the team.
Yeah, sends a message. Then another message to be sent if that continues to be the case, is trade his ass.
Yeah,
like,
nobody. A bunch of teams, any wide receivers.
You know what, Steve? That's something that I've been looking at like for a minute now. Like, why? Like, we have a Luther Burden. You could put, Zacchaeus. You have, you got Rome. You already got 3 receivers that could be your top 3 receivers. If DJ doesn't want to perform, doesn't want to give the effort, get him the fuck out of here. That should be the message. It should be the message to everybody on this team. You don't want to be here. You don't want to perform. Go somewhere else.
Bye.
Yeah, you got it. We're at this point, and I think we want to see from Ben Johnson. He's talked that talk. We want to see him walk that walk as far as holding people accountable. And I think this week, and hopefully, what you see him challenging the guys in the week, you hope that shows up on the field today. But if it doesn't, and if it happens during the game, or you just evaluate players after the game, if they're not getting it done, you got to make these moves. You got to make these changes. Another guy, Darnell Wright. I know he's our, young up and coming, and I'm starting to take the up and coming out of there because he hasn't produced in 3 years, really up to the standard that he's supposed to be. Like the guy is some terrible technique, awful technique, hasn't done anything with his body. So if this guy, and now the guy can't even stay on side. So if he's not getting it done, yank his ass.
Yeah, well, and
Trapillo, you're a second rounder.
Trapillo's inactive.
He's inactive. He's
inactive. There we go. There's good.
Exactly what he's talking
There
about.
we go.
This is
Why?
A second round offensive tackle, inactive.
Inactive.
What? Here we go. Oh my God.
Why?
No.
See, and we've said it. This goes back to Ryan Poles, and we can't say it enough because of the incomplete team that we have. See, we talked about it on the Bear Down. We're an incomplete team. People out here, Bears fans, acting like we're supposed to go to the Super Bowl. Have you not seen the draft picks that have not flourished?
Yeah.
I knew we were
draft picks
8-win team. But now I'm taking the 8 wins back because I just not seeing it. The roster is not indicating anything. When I think there was high hopes because we got Ben Johnson. We had the draft picks. This is before we got the free agency and the draft. There was high hopes. Okay, Ben Johnson's in here. We're about to start rolling. Then we go through free agency. Nothing super splashy there except for Joe Tooney. Okay, boom, we address some things on O-line and Dahlman, obviously, those are the big key components. Grady Jarrett, which wasn't a big splash. That was a leadership move to bring a guy in to help with the leadership. But when we got to that draft, we were left so incomplete that it was just like you had to look at that. Minus Loveland, like we could go and debate. You could have got a D in there. You could debate it, Luther Burden. But when you got to that second round and what he started doing, like really in that second round, when you had the Urseries and you had a chance at Scataboos and players of that nature who would definitely, just those two guys alone, help our offense. You know what I mean? Just those Ursery and Scatterboo. And then we can debate the tight end having a DN. Yeah, we need a DN. Who's that? Mike Hill, the guy from Georgia that we had rated. He's being active, being productive. I'm seeing Jared Verse. We're looking at 2 years ago. Now that was the wrong Medusa, but we're passing up on these key component positions on the D line and O line. We just continue to just passing by, and we're seeing the guys that we could have took on these other teams having impacts, getting after the quarterback. Something we can't even sniff the quarterback.
We got Harold Fanning Jr. right now is one of the tight ends that Phil was just in love with. I think Phil had him as his number 1 tight end. He has more play time than the top 10 pick in Colson Loveland. And he got drafted in the 3rd, 4th round, something like that. So again, like the philosophy and the approach to how this team drafts has brought us to this point where we don't have a pass rush we can trust, don't have one running back that we could trust, and our left tackle is left, to the wing.
Yeah. At this point, when you look at Scatterboo, overall, you still need better blocking than what we've been getting up front, regardless of who you have in the backfield. But in this case, that we don't get that really good a Scatterboo who could break 2-3 tackles we could utilize that right now. A guy who could fall forward for 2 or 3 yards. We could, and cloud of dust. Like we need that type of runner. And Swift isn't the guy who goes down on first contact. If he's not out in space juking you, which he's really good in space, that's a good 1-2 punch that you could use. But every down back, we're feeding him.
That's not him.
My boys in the background. If you hear them going crazy, a lot of fantasy football stuff going on back here.
He's got his own. He's got his own party going.
His own party going on over here.
But it's just one of those things where I just you look at that draft where it's just having such a major impact on this team. It just like that's where I started saying I don't think we're we're not a playoff team, but you were hoping that the coaching and the staff that can elevate. I know you bring a coaching staff with good coaches, you can elevate, you can start talking, but I think we're that bad where regardless of the coaching, we're just not, that roster is just that depleted.
Yeah.
What would be the worst case scenario for the Bears this season?
Last week.
You say that again?
It's louder. I said, what is the worst case scenario for the Bears this season? Will they go, 2 and 15 or 2 and 14?
15 or
whatever, something like that.
I don't think we're that bad. I think we have more with Ben Johnson. I think he has more wins than that. I think Caleb has more wins than that. I think I think a 4-win season is the worst case scenario.
So then we're back in the top 10 for drafting?
Yeah. It's worst case scenario, guys. Kind of worst case scenario.
You boys are calm down.
Worst case scenario. Y'all can't hear what they asked me. Worst case scenario.
You ain't wrong. They got a tough schedule.
It's a tough schedule. Four wins, because that's the worst case scenario. They said 2 over here.
I mean,
do that to
2 we in the first round, and then
Don't put that
we
evil
up
on
in the top 5. People gonna be like, we drafting a quarterback,
right? We ain't drafting another quarterback.
No, they're not drafting.
They're not drafting the quarterback.
They just got Bajan signed.
You need to draft linemen.
Linemen. They heard you, Cliff. We're in the top 5. Get a Joe out. Hopefully, there's a Joe out available. But Joe Alt was just like one of those. And some people said, "Why did we draft him? We weren't in position to draft him." But Joe Alt was only a captain.
But hold on. But we've been there in the past where
oh boy,
we could take offensive linemen, and I don't care if it's Pop Warner or the All-Pro game, the Super Bowl. You need dogs in the trenches to win football.
Yes,
agree. Sir.
Yes, we do.
Yes, sir.
My mic is pretty good. If y'all hear him right there,
Loud and clear.
We're on pages, Mike. We're on the same page.
We just don't take offensive linemen. But you look at guys like a Joe Alt on a hardball team in his second year is a captain. Is a captain.
Right.
Not only is he excellent as a captain. So
and he was going to be a backup.
It's a no-brainer for some of these teams. A hardball sits there. He's at 5, and they were saying all kinds of people who they're going to wear, whatever position that was when he took off, and they were saying everybody under the sun that they could get. As soon as that pick came, you knew Jim Harbaugh was going to start building his team with the offensive line.
That's exactly what Harbaugh
did. To the fucking podium is Jim Harbaugh himself, like he played for the Bears, scrambling around back in the day.
Exactly.
And that's probably the reason that he wasn't hired here. One of the reasons, because he wanted a loud voice and wanted an opinion and last say on what the roster is going to look like. And he was going to start with the offensive line and defensive line and then work outward.
Yeah, and that's what we are where we are right now with Ben Johnson, but with the fact that we didn't even try to go get a Jim Harbaugh, it's just ridiculous. He's a team. He's an organizational builder.
Yes,
and he has success everywhere he's been. Even at Stanford, where the academic qualifications was something that could hold you back from getting top athletes.
Qualifications, for the academics, okay.
Yeah. There's some guys still getting that good Stanford education if you can play ball. But. You know, the fact that he's able to go to San Francisco, build a winner, go to Michigan, build a winner, and now he's in Sandy or LA Chargers, building that thing pretty damn quickly. And he, you know,
luck in the Cardinal.
He's just, I mean, he just doesn't, but you know, that's the relationship with the organization and knowing that he's that personality that not only is he, you know, I think he's that hard-nosed coach. I could see a little bit, I could see a Ben Johnson with that hard-nosed, you know, attitude. Obviously, we want to see him start winning. You can't compare him to Jim Harbaugh. But the thing, Jim Harbaugh comes with that charisma, comes with that, all right, you ain't going to tell me, and you know what I mean? He's going to do his things his way.
He's got the pedigree. How are you going to question his pedigree? That's like, you know, Andy Reid goes from, you know, Philadelphia to Kansas City. Are you questioning the man? No, you're not. You're not. He's a proven winner. He's built programs left and right. Everywhere he goes, he knows exactly what he's doing. And when you got guys that win Super Bowls, they have the last word. We have nobody here who's won a Super Bowl in charge.
No, absolutely none. And it's just not that alpha leader. You know what I mean? Alpha, and we had that with Lovey in a way. In a way, Lovey was a prideful guy. He wasn't going to curse. He wasn't going to do all that. But he let players play. He did have some hectic players. We had the Olin Kreutzes, and we had the Mike Browns and the Urlachers and the Lance Briggs, and you name it, of guys with personalities. And he found a way to do it his way, allow us to have our personality. And then after that, after Lovey, it's just been we haven't been nowhere close to having that personality team that can back it up on the field. And and we had the flash in 2018, and you got to contribute a lot of that to Vic Fangio controlling that defense, right? Yes. You know how much of an impact he had on that defense. And you had a little flash in the pan with Nagy coming in his first year, calling all kinds of crazy stuff. Everybody caught up with him the next year. So we just got to get back to somewhat of that standard. But the thing that remains the same is we talk about defensive ends, and that one kills me. That the last guy we've drafted that had any impact on this organization is Alex Brown. That's going back to 2002 when I came out. That's the last drafted DN that we've actually drafted that was an impact player in the 4th round. And we've had to go out and trade or sign big contracts to other DNs. We haven't developed anything in that category. We haven't developed anything of substantial Pro Bowl material, not even close. Since Jimbo Covert at left tackle, like it's ridiculous.
Jimbo,
you're right. No,
it's just ridiculous that we haven't. But even when we did have somebody good at left tackle, is John Tate. We had to go get him via free agency, and it's just crazy. You got to start having homeborn drafted players, homeborn drafted players. That's how you do it. Ravens, the Eagles, just. So many examples.
Those are organizations that know how to draft and are great evaluators of talent. Yeah. They don't just fixate on one guy and say, that's my guy, and that's it.
I think it goes deeper than that. See, these are organizations that are looking to win. Like, they're not looking to find choir boys that fit the football mold. They're looking to find football players that go out there and want to smack you in the mouth and win the game. That's what they do.
Yeah, we've in that excellent point, Ivan. We talked about this, and I was talking to somebody the other day. We're talking about I was doing an appearance, and the guy was talking, and he remembers when I was playing in 2004 and against the Houston Texans, a really cold game. So me and him started chopping it up. But I just said we got everything. We if a kid can't have a blip on their radar, on their past and their background. It seems that we don't take anybody with a little blip on they have to have a clean record to come play for us, for the Bears. Say us, but for the Chicago Bears. You gotta have somebody. You can't have nobody with a terrible background. It's just hey, and I want to say Jalen Carter was like totally. I mean, he had some bad stuff going on. I think the thing we always say, we weren't built as an organization to take on a guy and put our arms around him and be like, hey, listen, we know how like the Eagles were with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and all those guys, and they had the winning culture. Hey, this is how you get things done, buddy. Stay out of trouble. If we would have got Jalen Carter and drafted him, I don't know who knows, it might have worked out.
He's going 120 miles down Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah,
He's going 120 miles down Lakeshore Drive.
He would have been out with Lil Durk or something. You know what I mean? Like he'd have been kicking it with Lil Durk on the South. That's what he would have hit the news article. Yeah, he got tied up with Lil Durk and them, and O Block. We weren't built to have him. So. But we got to build that success. But also, we can't ignore anybody who has a little blip on their radar, on their backyard. We can't get the choir boys. Can't have choir boys.
No,
we
definitely
start
can't.
Getting some guys with some edge. That half the guys you would. So in this era right now, we wouldn't have drafted Olin Cruz.
Nope, not at all. And look how long he played for us and was a staple in that line.
Yes.
Kept that locker room in check.
Yeah, you probably, I don't know everybody's background and what they did. I don't know about Mike Brown. I like Mike Brown. I guarantee he probably had some drinks in Nebraska. You telling me he might have got? I don't know. You telling me you're not getting Mike Brown because he maybe had a blip in his? That affects your future.
It
You're
really
not getting an Urlacher or Lance Briggs. We all know Lance Briggs is a partier. So I'm sure he did.
He got in trouble. He got in trouble. Yeah, he got in trouble.
You're not getting a Lance Briggs because he had this. Like that's what it seems like. We got to get people with perfect records.
No, that bothers me so much. And another little fact about him, like I used to be in banking, and so I had a bunch of the NFL players. I was handling their accounts, so they would call me on my personal phone, like, "Hey Z, I'm coming through. I need some money." It would be David Terrell and Bobby Wade coming through, calling me, "Hey, I need 10 grand." I'm like, guys, it's a Tuesday night. What do you need 10 grand for?
Yeah,
because you're gonna go get in trouble.
Yeah,
you're gonna go get in trouble. And I'm like, I know practice ended early and they're letting you do your thing, but 10 grand on a Tuesday. I'm like, do you understand you don't get paid during the off season? Like, I'm trying to spit some knowledge out. I'm like, during the off season, you don't get paid. You're going to be like Ron Artest working at Best Buy, trying to get another paycheck. Like, it's going to be that bad.
Well, we knew David Terrell. That's funny. He was already a wild boy. I knew Bobby Wade started hanging out with him and going out. And Bobby, he took Bobby Wade right underneath his arms. And
I know
they was. I remember one time we was getting ready for a meeting and we got the big glass mirrors at Hallis Hall and we're like all standing outside the big team mini room. But you got this like you could see where players had to drive through there and there's a big window glass pane and you can see anybody driving past there going to the players' lot. But Bobby Wade and David Terrell I think the G-Wagon might have been out by then. I don't know. They pulled up in they pulled up right in the front. They didn't go to the park players. They pulled right into the front door, knowing we about to go on the team meeting. And you're just looking at those guys like, where the hell are y'all coming from? Like y'all didn't get no sleep.
I'm telling you, I know where they came
straight from somewhere where y'all was up the whole time.
What club stays open?
Like they pulling up right for team meeting, and they just came straight out kicking it.
Oh my god! I had a lot of.
It's a difference between getting the guys. No, we do. I talk about that. He hasn't been watching me. I talk about my guys.
Yeah.
They know it's no secret. Guys talk about guys a little bit. It's the thing is you got to have some guys who gonna have a little chip, but they got to be ballers. And I think we need to get back to. I understand where you get a player who doesn't like get it done, but then there's players that just get it done, and they might. It's like Ursary. You heard about the Ursary that they were like might have been concerned about his background. I'm just like, well, the Houston Texans aren't concerned about it because they starting left tackle now as a rookie, protecting C.J. Stroud. blindside, and we got a guy who's going into his fourth year that can't stop a bull rush.
You know, to be honest with you,
Now inside move with on top of he gets beat. He gets, you know, it's
yeah.
You get my drift.
No, I got it. It's again, it falls down on the philosophy behind the draft process. And we talked to you, Steve. I walked out. Remember, me and Steve were there together at the draft night at Soldier Field. We were at the bar. As soon as I knew who they draft, I was done. That was it because of the glaring holes that this team needed. Offensive.
Talking about last year?
This draft.
Not the one before that when they drafted a punter in the fourth round?
No, that one I got upset at. But I'm talking about this draft. When we knew who we needed, we knew what we needed, especially on the defensive side of the ball, we didn't draft anybody that we needed. We drafted another luxury. And then on top of that, you say we need Colson Loveland for that that 12 man. Where is he? He's not even in 12. He's not on the field.
Yeah, and that goes to Ben Johnson, man. We haven't seen no 12 personnel. We haven't seen him utilizing any of that yet. Like, so that some of it's not all off of him. Like I know you banged the table for Loveland. Like, I know that wasn't just a Poles thing. You know, to be fair to Poles, he got you the guy who you like. But like, you gotta, what's going on? Like, is he not? You know what I mean? Like, gotta get him involved. I was expecting. I think I probably took a prop on that on Loveland. I think that first week, it's like, oh, he's getting 4 catches today.
Right.
The way I feel like they're about to utilize him, no, like I haven't laid a prop on him yet. Like since then, like because I'm like, man, it's the uncertainty. Are you even going to use him? I thought he was going to get a high volume guy. Thought we were going to see that first game. Bears game, like damn. So
I think they pulled the wool over our eyes, especially during we had up at Hallis Hall during the preseason. I mean at the training camp. Thank you. We seen them use him a lot and make big plays, and then he got 4 targets game 1, 4 catches game 1, and 1 target game 2 in garbage time. Yeah. So what are we doing? And we talked about it earlier before he jumped on air, is that we got to remember that Ben Johnson is also a rookie head coach. He's going to make mistakes. Yeah. He has been acknowledging them during the press conferences, but at the same time, you've got guys that are high value targets that you drafted, and they're not being utilized to the best. Yeah. Loveland, Trapilo. I mean, it just keeps going on. Like, what are we doing?
Hey, I get, I understand. He's a first-year guy. He's used to calling the plays, and that's going to take some time for him to get it down. For God's sake, I have a hard time coaching the U team. I was over there spinning my wheels like shit. What am I going to, I'm regretting decisions I made. So imagine being an NFL head coach. You're managing so much. So he's a smart guy. And then on top of your culture in the locker room is not what you probably thought it was. Because when push comes in, you can do all you want to do in all season. Everybody's lifting weights and looking good. But when you got somebody in front of you week 1 and you go through your adversities and your ups and downs, that's when you start finding out who's who and what people are made of. And I think he's starting to see an early glimpse of what people are made of. And then you start losing those heartbreaking games. Guys who were on that team last year, are they regressing back to how they reacted last year, how they did things last year? You know what I mean? It's crazy how, you think professional athletes, no, it's a psychological game. That's why you see people try to do all these you see AJ Brown go to the game with a book, you know what I mean? Like a mental, game book. I forget what it was he was reading, but it's such a psychological thing. All those tough losses, all those bad decisions down the end of the game last year, and then you have a implosion that first game of the week. It carries on into Detroit, and you go into Detroit and you lay an egg. So on top of all the injuries, and have your guys. So there's a lot to manage and figure out, but you start finding out what guys are made of. So this week is going to be pivotal. He's laid down the gauntlet at this week of practice who's going to respond? And then you're going to start seeing what kind of, unfortunately, you're going to start seeing like what kind of moves you possibly going to have to start making. I hate to see that we're in this position starting to talk about off season. It's too early.
Right.
But that's what kind of we're like, hey, forget the off season, start making in season moves. And that could be something you might have to consider with some guys and get some draft compensations.
For me, Steve, because I'm a White Sox fan, and we lost a lot last year. A lot.
I got 2 White Sox fans in here, by the way. They're right here.
Oh, maybe you play the song. Definitely, looking at what the White Sox did, right? They lost a lot of games, and then you had a new coach come in, new GM, and they got rid of a lot of the players that had that losing stench, guys that didn't want to play, your Yoan Moncadas and so forth. This is what the Bears are going to be going through this process this year. Guys that don't want to play, guys that have a losing mentality, they're not going to be here to lift up their brothers on the field. Guess what? You're not going to be here next year because we're in a win mode now. If you're not willing to do that, the dirty work now to make the extra block for your running back as a wide receiver, as a lineman, are you just standing there and watching, or are you moving forward and blocking, even though because Caleb can go any direction he wants to, and you've got to have your head on a swivel and be able to block for him. So at the end of the day, for me, I just feel like it's an evaluation year. We talked about it a little bit earlier. For Ben Johnson to say who's going to be my troops going forward as we go to war with the rest of the NFL and say we're winning, we're trying to win this damn the championship, and I need my troops to back me up.
Yeah, it's just you need people that to rely on, that you trust. Like I said earlier, we were talking about the lack of trust. We were talking about the lack of trust. It's like,
let's go, Stafford. 29-27. Let's go, buddy.
Okay, that's fine. Like that's fine. If this is an evaluation year and needs to find guys that he could trust, cool. But that narrative that talk the talk but not walk the walk, that shit is thin as you cannot do that and not have any type of accountability or any type of reaction to it. You can't just say what you say and allow it to marinate and not do something that is going to actually change the culture of the team. To me, it's all about if Ben Johnson sees it, react to it, and do something about it. Otherwise, Bears fans like us, like TTNL, like Jose and TCS, we're going to see it and we're going to call your ass out. And it'll be just like an Eberflus, like an Aggie. That's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, we need to see it today. Today's the game that you're back at home. Game of the week. You need it. Oh my God! I'm just watching this Jacksonville game. It's just that we need a response. We need to see something. We need to see that move. I'm not trying to just do. If you see it, react to it. We're going to see it too. Like everybody's going to be looking for DJ Moore to see what his body language is, because that's what's been talked about. So it's just you want to see.
Come on, baby.
You want to see a win. You want to see if somebody's fucking lacking out there offensively, defensively, special teams, you yank them out, make a change. But that's also I just want to continue to see I want to see the young guys develop. This the thing is, I don't know we're at that point, but it's going to be a point where there's enough young guys on this team where you're going to have to start seeing them. And it makes no sense that we got second rounders from this year inactive. That's just ridiculously crazy to me right
now. The
Browns
just blocked the kick, and they're back at the 50.
Blocked the kick, guys.
And I just put a bet on the Browns.
10-10. Me too. It's 10-10. I did too.
Damn, I should have done it earlier. It was plus 1,500.
10-10 in Cleveland. But Steve, we're going to let you go because we're going to wrap up here in the next 5 minutes. But we appreciate you jumping on. We can't wait for you to actually be here live with us.
Yeah, next week is the plan. So I'll let you know, Ivan.
Yeah, everybody here is going,
it's going nuts here. It's nuts
here already. So, yeah, we can't wait to have you guys. Have a good time, Steve. Enjoy everything. Enjoy the party. Tell the fellas what's up and to be more lenient on our Bears. Like,
hey, bring the fellas. No, bring the fellas next week.
Yeah, bring them next week. Yeah, bring everybody.
I'll definitely let them know if they want to roll with me next week.
Yeah, there we go.
Sure. All right.
All right, Steve. Thanks, brother.
All right, that was Big Steve Edwards, our guy from TTNL from the Bear Down.
Love talking to Steve Edwards. Love it.
Steve is our guy. Like, yeah, exactly. We have a blast, and to be honest with you, like we just did. He popped up. I was hoping he popped up. I didn't think he had company over, but thank God he did. But like that's
real life. That's real life.
It was so fun. I wanted to bring the fellas on. Like put somebody on TV that wants to say something.
You got an opinion. We want to hear it.
I want to hear it. But yeah, that was fun. But right now we're at about an hour into the pregame.
Yeah.
About 25 minutes into the game time. Bears and Cowboys. So I think we should just wrap up here. Let's go ahead and wrap with our predictions and what we'd like to see.
For me, I think the game obviously is running the ball. That way the play action can work and you can spread the ball around. Defense needs to step up and be able to get to the quarterback and the Dak Prescott. And then my prediction, I still see the Cowboys coming on top, 34-27.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I think it same thing I said. It's both sides of the ball need the offense needs to run the ball. The defense needs to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you could keep yourself in the game. I said last week I will not pick the Bears, and I will not pick the Bears this week.
Nope.
I will say it's going to be the Cowboys 36, Chicago 29.
Ooh. More than 24 points. Me and you picked the Bears to get more than 24 points, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that the Bears, if they allow more than 24 points, they lose every game?
Yeah, it's a thing with all teams. If they allow less than a certain amount of points.
If the Browns kick this, they're gonna win this.
Come on, Cleveland!
Come on, Cleveland! Cleveland rocks.
We might have to just stay here for a second.
Yeah, we're gonna stay live for this kick. 2 seconds left. Green Bay and the Browns.
Come on, Schnickshit. Whatever his name is.
Is that what his name is?
Look at the Schnickshit.
I thought he sneezed.
No, that's exactly what his name is. It's a sneeze. Schnickshit.
Hey, talk about Joe Flacco coming back and taking his team to a win against Green Bay.
Joe Flacco. Let's go. I like these Browns uniforms too. They're actually brown.
Yes.
Come on, Schnizznet. 56.
No win.
Timeout.
No win.
Andre Schnizzmet. Schmidt.
There's no vowels.
It's Andre Schmidt.
There's no vowels in that name.
It's just a bunch of letters.
His mom knows his name.
Just a bunch of letters. Okay, it looks like we're going to go to a timeout.
Yeah, we're going to a timeout. You want to stay on? Or
yeah, that's good. Let's
stay on.
Let's just stay on to see if the Browns win this. You better make this Schmitznet. We're staying on air for you. All right?
Yes.
25 fucking kicker.
He also plays running back.
Come on, Schmitznet.
All right, here we go. All right, they're lined up. All
right. Here we go.
Here's the snap. Good hold.
Good
down the middle. Let's go. Yeah. Cleveland takes down the pack. Cleveland takes down the pack.
All right. Good job.
Oh, my God. What a game. All right. Whatever his name. He won us some money.
All right. Let's go.
All right, boys and ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Fuck the Packers. Let's go.
We'll be back for a halftime show. So we'll see you then. And remember to bear down.
You did it wrong.
I did it wrong. Now bear down.